What's up, players? Today we're gonna loop some grooves without a looper pedal. Lava sent me this crazy high-tech acoustic guitar, and it has all these features like guitar effects that come out of this little speaker in the guitar, ability to record ideas, and my favorite is the looping feature where you can choose a drum loop and layer ideas on top of it. So let's make a vibey acoustic neo-soul guitar loop. And first things first, let's pick a chord progression. So right now I'm vibing on these chords: E major 9, G sharp minor 7, and then F sharp. Yeah, I think that sounds really nice. Now, to make it sound a little bit more unique, I could add an effect to it. So I can come down here and look at all my effects and kind of vibe like Big Ben, kind of see what that sounds like. Ooh. Right, it's like, that's something. Let's just kind of see here, man. Lollipop. Some vibes. Let's get a little bit crazier. Go into all these different effects. Wah. Wah. Ooh. Alright, so I want something just a little bit more subtle. And I'm going to grab this delay. Kind of flip through all these. I like just good old classic delay. Yeah, kind of give me something to groove with. Hey. So I got my guitar sound, now I'm going to find a cool drum loop to vibe with, alright? So I'm going to come down here, click on my loops, and I'm going to look at all these different things I could do, like the first couple that show up, get lucky. Alright, right, whatever. But if I kind of vibe on style, I could think about locking down what I'm feeling right now, right? So we got pop, rock, R&B. There's even like a neo-soul and a hip-hop vibe. But I'm kind of thinking like R&B, right? R&B, I'm going to come down here, look at these options. You know, something like this is what I'm feeling. This looper is actually way more intuitive than I've seen with other loopers. You could choose the tempo and length of the loop, 4 bars, 8 bars, etc. So it automatically stops recording at that point and you could carry on doing your thing. So I got my loop and I got my chords, and I'm just gonna start real simple and just see how it sounds with these chords. Real simple to start, just those 3 chords. I'm just feeling it. Yeah, okay, all right. So I got a feel for it, I'm hearing the groove and everything. Now I want to create something a little bit more unique on my guitar, right? So I could think about this E major 9 chord right here, and I know I could do like a little E major 9 move where I kind of half bar these middle 2 strings with my index finger and hammer my pinky down on the G string. And that's a good sound. Yeah, so I can do something like that. Maybe pick it across like that. And like another guitar move I could do with this F sharp chord, if I use my thumb right there, thumb, mute the A string, and those next 3 strings, I got my pinky free to do little hammer-ons like that. It's kind of like the Hendrix vibe, if you feel me. Or more low-key, Curtis Mayfield vibe, which apparently that's where Hendrix got that shit from, Curtis Mayfield. Know your roots, baby. Know your roots. And another idea to coming up with kind of like a cool, interesting part is thinking about the high notes, right? So I could kind of, like that's my high note on the B string. And taking that F sharp minor chord, just a simple chord, but I could spice it up by separating those high notes. I go high on the G, and then that B string, and that brings it down to this high note on the B string. So I'm kind of creating that melody. Yeah. Alright, so let's try and line this up with our groove. I'm going to hit record, it's going to give me a 4-beat count off, and I'm going to have my 4 bars, and it's going to automatically stop, and we're going to feel it from there. Alright, so here's record. Okay, so let's add another layer to this. And a really simple neo-soul approach is adding another chord voicing on the higher register, top 4 strings, let's say. So to make it really simple, I just want to find one different voicing for each of these 3 chords. So my first chord was an E major 9, and I want to think about what is one other voicing that I could choose, right? What's another one? And I don't have to be crazy. I don't have to move it all around the neck. I could be in this area. So I have my E major 9, right? I know an E major 7. Something like that could work. I could even kind of move it around a little bit and think of it like this B major shape where I could hammer my pinky in. So something simple like that. Even this G sharp minor 7. I could take the top 4 strings and I could do my hammer on move right there, and then all of a sudden it's a 9. G sharp minor 9. Simple like that. And then my F sharp, I actually kind of want to move it up here. So if we know our chords fairly well, I know my F sharp is right here. And kind of coming from like the cage system idea, that's like a C shape, right? Here's my C. Out of key, but bring it up here. That's that. And if I want to kind of neo-soul it out, what I would do is I would build off of that shape, bar that fret right there, that 6th fret, and create that chord. And then I can do little hammer-on moves. Alright, so those are my 3 chord voicings I'm going to use with each of those. My E major 7, I can hammer into it. My G sharp minor 9, hammer into it again. And then this type of F sharp chord, it's kind of like a sussy type chord. And I could do those little moves too. Alright, so I have my vibes, and it's a little bit of those neo-soul moves too, just to bring out that genre sound, okay? Yeah, we're feeling good. The next really big thing we want to think about when we're layering guitar parts is we're either supporting the previous layer or we're filling up the space. And a really simple way to support it is just to play an open chord. That's just one big thing coming across, and the lack of anything happening is just supporting what's underneath, all right? So let's just start simply like that and hear how that goes. I'm going to play the loop, and I'm just going to play our 3 chord voicings and just strum it, and we're going to see how it supports what's coming on with the other layer, all right? Let this roll for a little bit. And I'm just going to play these things. We go. Alright, yeah, like I'm not stepping on anything, I'm just adding a little bit more sound, a little bit more harmony to our groove and everything, to our loop. So that's cool. But also, I can make it a little bit more interesting by doing some of these guitar moves. But the trick is you gotta find that space, alright? So if I play this again, there's space right there. Space, right? Nothing's happening there. Space. So I can hear that, think about my 3 chord moves, and fill it in. Alright? So I go like this. Okay, yeah, I kind of feel it. I'm vibing on it too. And I kind of want to add just one extra little thing, a little challenge to bring out some more of those R&B neo-soul vibes. On that last chord, what if I slid into it? Yeah, so be like that. But it's a great sound, and you want to take it slow. And another just small trick to getting this is don't slide from anywhere, like just random all the way down the neck. And I see people doing that. It's I don't know. I don't think it's a good way to start working on this technique and just to get a feel for it. You want to start from somewhere, and don't start from far away, right? Just start from a whole step. So we're already right here, so I can do that. Take your time with it, but it's a cool thing. So we'll add that to it. Let's record this layer and see how to solo over it, right? We don't want to go too crazy with the layers. We'll just add this one extra layer, give it a little bit more of a vibe, and then solo over it, okay? So one thing I like about this looper too is you can click on each thing and change the volume. So like that last layer, it's more of a supporting kind of part to the groove, right? So I want to lower that volume. I can click on it, click volume, bring it down a little bit more. Hey. Right? It's just kind of adding to it. It's not the main part. All right. Yeah. Okay, so now I got a feel. And I want to say something over it, right? I want to solo a little bit. So if we think about this, our key is a G sharp minor, and I always start just finding my two scales, my two patterns with the E string root right here, right? And then my A string root, so I find my G sharp right there. Beautiful, right? All right, so, but we want to get a little bit more juicier than that, right? So what I'm gonna do is think about a second kind of like spicy scale. Well, you know, tasty, let's say that. So I have this pattern right here. Beautiful, it sounds great. I could do some of these cool licks. So I could play them over here in this pentatonic pattern. All right, a lick like that. But then I could play the same lick with D sharp minor pentatonic. Ooh, so I'm keeping that same vibe, but just bringing out these different tonalities. And basically, all you need to know is how to find that scale, right? So if I'm in G sharp minor, I go up a fifth. I could even look at my power chord. I know that that's a fifth right there. And then that's my minor pentatonic scale. So if I can get familiar with that one and the other one, I could play the same licks, but then it actually sounds a little bit more interesting, and it's building an idea, right? It's kind of building a motif. So let me try this, man. Let me try a couple of these licks and see what happens, and let's just see if it sounds cool, all right? And that's how we loop neo soul guitar. So you want to find a chord progression, find one chord move for each chord just to kind of spice it up, and then when you layer it, find one chord voicing for each chord as well, and think about what you're going to do with that. Are you going to support the previous layer by just playing an open chord, letting it ring, or fill in the spaces? And then finally, when you solo, you can find that pentatonic scale, but find this new pentatonic scale where you go up a fifth from the minor, and you can play those same licks in a different vibe and really kind of build something unique, all right? So jam with it, play this stuff, make your own loops. If you want the tabs for everything I played in this, including previous lesson tabs and backing tracks, check us out on Patreon. I appreciate the support. Keep jamming and stay nasty.